What's up, guys, and welcome back to another live episode of Patreon Only, where we bring Patreon members on to just chat around, BS, and just talk about everything that's going on in whiskey right now. So you guys want to go around and just say your names and what you're drinking on tonight? We'll start with you, Scott.
I'm Scott. I'm sipping on some new Riff single barrel pick that I got from a friend in Cincinnati from the Party Store. It's pretty good stuff.
Nice. What about you, Jim?
I'm Jim, and I'm getting into a little bit of Old Forester 1920.
Always solid. That's one that kind of always flies under the radar and not a whole lot of – it's one people always talk about, but it's never anything that people go crazy over. But I could easily see that as, like winning the San Francisco Spirits competition and just flying off the shelf and then be impossible to get.
Which is why I don't talk about it much.
Fair enough. What about you, David?
I'm David. I'm sipping on some Knob Creek single barrel 15-year right now.
Solid.
Yeah.
Always solid.
Absolutely.
That's another one that always kind of goes under the radar. And, I know we've said it before, but for, 15-year, 14-year, even 13-year at 120 proof and $45.
Best value in bourbon.
On paper, there's no beating it. So, everyone, I'm Kyle, and I just about to pour a Four Roses small batch select. I just got back from Kentucky, so I was able to pick up a couple more of them to hold in stock, so I can drink this one a little faster now. Before that, I was sipping on some old Rebel Yell 100 proof, and it's really good. We'll be doing a Pop the Top episode on it here soon. So, but anyway, so if you guys haven't heard, part of an OZ Tyler warehouse collapsed a couple days ago, and that's like the third one here recently in the last year or so. Are they going to start requiring hard hats on all whiskey tours, or what do you guys think?
I hope next thing they'll close all of them down. You won't be part of the tour anymore.
Then you won't be able to see inside the rick houses, man.
I know the smell in there is just. If they could just bottle that and just sell that, I'd be happy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of my most favorite smells. That and the when they got the mash going, it's hard to beat. So apparently OZ Tyler does a lot of contract distilling for a bunch of labels. So it's hard to tell what was affected and what wasn't. But I think they said it was like a quarter of the rick house that collapsed. So
they're a little bit like an MGP, something like they do bourbons for people that that you may not know that they do bourbons for.
Yeah. There's a local one called Southern Pride Distillery. It's like 5 or 10 minutes down the road, and it's one of those ones like you probably wouldn't ever hear about. They do like a 2 and 3 year whiskey. They do a couple flavored moonshines, that kind of stuff. But apparently he said, I went over and down and talked to him, and he was saying they do over 100 labels out of that little small distillery there.
Wow.
That's crazy to me. I would have thought maybe, 5, 10, maybe 20, but he said over 100 different labels. I was like, you go in and it's just, one little still, probably no more than 200 gallons of mash between the three batches that they have going. And I was kind of blown away. Do you guys have any local distilleries by you?
Yeah, here in southern Indiana, we have the Gnawbone Distillery that out of Nashville, Indiana. That they make a pretty solid single barrel bourbon cast strength. So
Nice.
I'd say just I want to say 8 years. I don't have any on hand right now.
Is that 8-year product theirs, or is that something that they sourced?
No, it was something it's theirs.
So they've been doing it for a while then.
Yeah, they've been there a long time.
Nice. Scott, I saw you reaching back for something.
Yeah, we got Sagamore in Maryland. It's right 15 minutes from my house, which is nice. Nice property.
What's that, Jim?
I didn't say anything.
Oh. No, I've heard of Sagamore before. I think Scott over at My Bourbon Journey did some reviews on them.
Yeah, it's good rye. The CEO of Under Armour started it, and then they put it right down on the water in Baltimore and built this beautiful facility. They're sourcing. They're just starting to do their own stuff in like the last year. I think it was somewhere out of PA, but I'm not positive on that, or if it was MGP. But it's a really nice facility to go and have lunch and hang out on the water, and they're putting out a lot of good stuff.
Do you know where they're sourcing from?
No, I thought I heard at one point in time it was somewhere in PA, but then I thought I heard MGP too. So I haven't really looked up at it lately.
What's it say on the back of the bottle? It should say where it was distilled.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
At least what state it was distilled in. Do, 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 do.
I need glasses for this question. They put it so it just says, let's see, aged in new charred oak barrels, distilled.
I believe it's MGP.
It's distilled and bottled in Baltimore, Maryland, but I don't think that's.
It says it's distilled in Maryland or produced in Maryland.
It says it's distilled.
Yeah. Oh no, it's distilled in Indiana, bottled in Maryland. There.
Okay, so yeah,
I can
MGP.
finally read it. Yeah, so MGP.
A buddy of mine is an accountant, and he does some auditing
MGP.
with that company, with Sagamore, and he told me that they're an MGP product, or they were, but now they've changed over and they're doing their own juice.
Yeah, they're doing their own juice now.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what's coming out in the bottles quite yet.
No, it's not.
I mean, I'm always really interested to see when people stop sourcing from, say, MGP or Heaven Hill, Dickel, whatever it is, and start switching over to their own juice. How much of a change it is, or either are they going to start slowly doing it where they're going to take 80% MGP and 20% theirs, and then kind of slowly bring their percentages up over time, or
I mean, like Woodford Reserve with their pot stills.
right?
It's Kyle's favorite.
Man, Woodford and I go way back. There's history there.
But Willet.
Oh, Willet too. Yeah, yeah. They're a distillery,
Yeah, they've got a still.
right? Actually, I will say I have really come around on the Willet Rise, the family estate rise and stuff. But as far as their bourbon goes, I still can't do it. I've tried.
They still source like Noah's Mill and Willet Pot still, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think the family estate stuff is theirs, but the Willet Pot still in the Noah's Mill and Rounds Creek. I could be wrong, but I think that's all sourced still.
Yeah,
it depends on the year of the family estate. I think I just got a 6-year family Willet family estate, and I think it's their own juice, but I think that's the oldest of their own juice, if I'm not mistaken. And then anything much past that is sourced. So
it would be interesting to try their juice to see how it is.
Right. So speaking of Willet and my absolute love for it, is there anything that you guys absolutely don't like?
Besides Willet Pot Still?
Besides Willet Pot Still.
Gotta have the bottle, but I'll share that with everybody. They can get rid of it.
All of it. What about you, Jim? Anything you absolutely don't like?
Yeah, it's got a cock name in it. I can't remember. I don't think it was chicken cock, but it could have been. No, fighting cock. Fighting cock. It's like $14 a bottle, and it tastes like battery acid, and it burns like battery acid too. It's ridiculous. I keep it around just to give to people and tell them, hey, I got this great new bourbon. You got to give it a try and see if they say, oh man, this is awesome, or oh my God, this is horrible. What are you talking about? And the results are 50-50.
I've seen online a bunch of people talking about the fighting cock, and I was like, all right, I'll pick up a bottle, and I tried it. I really wasn't a big fan. I mean, maybe I'm just not a big fan of cock. I don't know, but fighting cock, chicken cock, I can't do it.
Chicken cock's pretty rough too.
Even their 8 and 10 year stuff isn't all that great. So, what about you, David?
I probably have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to this, but I have bought 2 bottles of Henry McKenna 10-year, and I can tell you that the 2 bottles that I had, the barrels just must not have been good, because it was hot and it tasted musty, and that's how I felt about it. And I've given it to other people. There was somebody that loved it. I was like, here you go. It's not my thing, and maybe but it just won whiskey of the year, so maybe they sent their good barrels to that competition. I'm not sure.
2 years in a row.
Is it 2 years in a row now?
Yeah, different competitions.
There was a guy here at our local liquor store, and I go in there fairly regularly, and he goes, I've got some Henry McKenna 10-year in the back, and I said, thank you, I appreciate it, but it's just not for me. Somebody else can have it. Thank you, though. If I don't like it, why buy it?
Jim, I saw you shaking your head back there about the Henry McKenna.
I completely agree. I had about a month ago, I had a bit of a bourbon night with a few buddies right before we went on a camping trip. They actually stayed here. They lived out of state, so we got into it a bit. And one of my friends wanted some Henry McKenna, so I bought a bottle of it. We got into it. I can't drink it. I mean, I just did not like it, and he thought it was great, so I just slid it over to him and said, "There you go." It was just not good. I've had others that I thought that were really good, but that particular bottle, not so much.
And like that's one thing I've been saying for a while is like Henry McKenna, their quality control, or whoever's doing the tasting on it is really kind of slacking or something. I don't know if they just eat a bunch of spicy food or Indian food before they go tasting stuff. And I don't know, but they're letting all kinds of stuff through on that Henry McKenna.
Yeah, they're just putting everything out, I feel like, because it really is hit or miss. Like, I have a bottle that I had before that I had for a year or so that was pretty good. And then I got a new one to replace it and, paid the upcharge. And I was like, it's just sitting there. I think it just has a neck pour out of it. Maybe I'll try it again at some point, but I don't have much hope for it.
Yeah, I have. So the first bottle I got of it, I was not impressed with at all. And it took me like a good year to finish it. And I was like, man, I just don't see the appeal. The second bottle I got, it was actually really good. Like, it could have been from 2 different distilleries. I mean, they were totally opposite of each other. And then the next couple bottles after that just weren't all that great. I mean, so I'm off the Henry McKenna bandwagon. I'm not.
Too many other good bourbons.
Oh yeah. Like, I'll see it on the shelf and, for $35-$40, whatever it is now. And I'm like, I'm not even going to take the chance on it. It's not worth it to take the chance on it when there's so much other good stuff out there that, for that price, I'm not taking a chance. So.
Yeah. For $25, you have a sure thing.
Yeah, exactly. Between, like I've said, Knob Creek, Four Roses single barrel, even small batch, and Wild Turkey 101. I mean, as far as daily drinkers go, those are my 3 that are hard to beat for me.
So speaking of Wild Turkey 101, Kyle, I don't know, about 6 months ago, you spoke about, or maybe Rare Bird did, the numbering on the bottles, because I recently picked up a bottle of 101 because I ran out of my stash, and it's not as good.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it you said it was one of the ones that you just purchased, or
Yeah. I purchased it about a month ago, and it's I mean, it's good, but not like it should be.
right? That last bottle you had, when was it from?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I tossed it, but the whenever you guys were talking about a specific code on it, and that was the one that I had. I think Rare Bird said this is the one you want to get, and that's what I had.
Okay, so I think it's like LLGC or something like that.
Yeah.
G3GH or something, I think.
Yeah. I think it was GH and everything after GH. Yeah, I don't know. Here's another one that's good. Is the John J. Bowman. I don't know if you guys
Really?
have that in your area.
They're sherry cask.
Do what, David?
I said I've never bought it, but I know that my local liquor store has it. Is it sourced from Buffalo Trace?
Yeah, it's but I guess there's a lot of debate on whether it's Mash Bill 1 or Mash Bill 2. And I mean, either way, that realistically, like, there's not a lot of difference between the two of them. There's like 4% rye difference between the two of them. I mean, we're not talking about a huge swing in mash bill. Rarebird 101 said GG, GH, GI, and GJ.
I thought I heard someone say the other day that like GC was small, or a small run it was done. It was like 14-year-old juice. I think it was mash and drum, but I'm not positive.
I don't know. Rarebird's in the chat right now. Hopefully he can chime in on that. He will definitely know the answer to it.
So is it the two letters right at the beginning?
Yeah, it'll say LL / and then G and then something else.
Mine is LL/FK.
That's old.
Is it?
Yeah, because the first letter, I think, if Rarebird can tell you for sure, I think is the year. So I think last year was GG, this year's is G, and this is H. So F would have been.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it'd be the year before. Be what, 2017 then?
Yeah.
Yeah, F is 17.
Yeah.
Rarebird just said FK is 17. So.
No, I had a pour out of it. I'll try it again just to confirm. If it's great, I'm not telling anybody where I got it.
Just go back and buy the case.
Yeah.
Get a case price on it. Which, by the way, I think that's something all stores should do, is offer like case price quantity discounts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kyle, down there in Tennessee, is Russell's Reserve single barrel getting hard to find? Because I can tell you up here in Indiana, it sure as heck is.
Not that I've really noticed.
Okay.
It's always been a little hit or miss, but it's one of those things like once it shows up on the shelf, it's not super, like, it doesn't go super fast or anything.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could go to, my store right around the corner has some on the shelf, and then I think the one down the way has some, and so.
It's just interesting by region, who gets what. And
DJ, is single barrel Russell's getting hard to find. There you go. Like I said, he's in the chat. He would know if things are getting scarce.
and the sad thing is that I'm just on the Hangout. I'm not actually in the chat or anything like that. So we're on the same page.
It's a little weird how YouTube has it set up. It's kind of I basically have two windows open to watch it.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys will see me go like this between looking at stuff.
Are you checking out how your face angle looks and on one side of the screen versus the other?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
It doesn't matter.
Rarebird says he can find Russell's Reserve single barrel, but
no, I can find it, but some of the stores that usually carry it don't have it. Haven't had it for a couple months now.
But they used to carry it regularly?
Yeah, they used to carry it regularly. It's just interesting.
I don't know. DJ said, DJ Beacon, not DJ Rarebird, is a case 12 or 6 or 3 bottles when dealing with whiskey? Yes. The answer is yes.
All of the above.
It just depends. If it's usually like Wild Turkey 101 is probably 12 to a case, if not 16 to a case. Some of your other stuff like Four Roses single barrel is 6 to a case. Russell's Reserve single barrel is probably 6 to a case. When you get things like Michter's 10-year, that's 3 to a case for sure. Pretty much all the BTAC stuff is all 3 to a case. So it just depends on the whiskey and usually how hard it is to find. But so speaking of things that you guys wouldn't drink, have you ever had whiskey that is too old, got past its prime? No one?
I've had ones that have picked up funky flavors, but I wouldn't say it was because it was old.
David, you're over there giggling.
Well, I mean, so when I bought this Knob Creek single barrel, the store pick, there were 2 different barrels that you could choose from, so I bought one of each. And there was one that I had that a buddy of mine and I tried out, and first of all, this 15-year store pick tastes fantastic, but the other 15-year store pick that I had was just an absolute. It was like you were licking the inside of the barrel after they had just charred it. It was just an oak bomb, and it tasted. For me, I just don't care for an overly oaky bourbon. I don't mind some oak, but it just it was way too much. It should have been pulled maybe a little bit sooner than it was. But that's some people's jam, and that's cool. But it just wasn't my thing, and it just tasted like it may have gone past its prime a little bit.
Yeah, I've had some that are they're either. I don't mind the oaky taste, the oaky flavor. I like it. I enjoy it. But when it starts getting that like super, like that mouth drying tannin kind of, or it'll go to like the really acidic, like it picked up all the acidic notes out of the barrel, and that's when I'm out. But Chad Hawley says Russell's Reserve 2002. That was pretty oaky. It was definitely oak forward. Scott, what's the oldest bourbon you've ever had?
The oldest bourbon I ever had? Probably just Pappy 23.
Just? It was like some crowd was a Pappy 20, some old wrinkle van something or other.
Some bottle that some guy had it. I got lucky to know a guy that won a lottery, and he was happy to share a little bit. So I was happy to take him up on the offer.
What'd you think of it? Enlighten us. Come on.
No, it was very oaky. It is not worth second. None of them are worth secondary, in my opinion. I will never pay secondary prices for that stuff. But I'd rather have a bottle of many other things. But I mean, it was cool to, now I can say I tried it. But outside of that, I've tried a lot of better things. I mean, the thing that's blown me away, I guess, this year was Booker's 30th. That was amazing. And then last year, that Four Roses, Allie Young, that was delicious.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd rather spend the money on those any day.
So I actually went to go order some Pappy 23 while I was in Kentucky. And, of course, they were out at the bar. But, I mean, their prices on it for the Pappy 23 was $35 for a 1.5 ounce pour.
Oh,
That's not bad.
that's good.
Yeah, which is probably why they were out of it.
And you were on work, so per diem.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you go 3
Have
days
to.
out, they still had it on the shelf, but they wanted like $200 a pour or something like that, and that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
Pappy 23 is the oldest that I've had for sure.
Would you say it was also very oaky?
Yeah, it definitely was oaky. More so than I would have liked.
So would you say it didn't live up to the hype then?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really pay too much attention to the hype, honestly, but it was interesting. It was, having something that old and to see what happens to it. I don't know if every 23-year-old bourbon would taste like that. There's a lot that goes into it, and what the finished product ends up as. But it was interesting for sure. I wouldn't pay $100 for that. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't pay $100 for it.
For the bottle?
Yeah, for the whole bottle. It just wasn't, to me, worth it. It was just way over oaked, and I didn't dig it.
I mean, I can't say I blame you. You know what I mean? I think we've all been there. We've had those super exclusive, pours, and they just don't live up to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I kind of think like is some of it. You have a preconception of, oh my gosh, this is supposed to be the absolute best thing ever in the world, and then you go to taste it, and you're like, oh, well, it wasn't the best thing in the world, and I'm like, it's just a letdown because you've been psyching yourself up, or it's got that, that story behind it. It's like going to go see a movie when someone's like, oh, it's the best thing I've seen in 10 years, and all this stuff, and it starts getting your hopes up, and you start imagining what it could be like and everything, and you go see it, you're like, it was good, but it wasn't, it wasn't mind blowing or anything. So
because your mind went in pre-blown.
It was already blown.
That's right.
What about you, David?
It's a tie for me. So I'm a relative newbie when it comes to the bourbon world. I've only been into bourbon for about 2.5 to 3 years, and it wasn't because it was trendy. Frankly, it was because I liked the taste of it. And my first bourbon was Four Roses single barrel. But it's a tie between this Knob Creek 15-year that I have, and I've had Pappy 15-year, and I can tell you that if you gave me a blind taste test, I'm almost certain 99 times out of 100, I'd pick the Knob Creek single barrel 15-year over the Pappy 15. The Pappy 15, much like the Pappy 23 for Jim and Scott, was a real letdown. And I had it in Lexington. I had it at a bar. I don't even remember what a drink of it cost, but it just didn't. You hear all the hype for so long, and that's all it is hype. I've had the Weller 12 before, and I really enjoyed that. I have a bottle of it up on the shelf that I scored for $30 to $5 about 6 months ago.
That's a win.
But yeah, that was a solid day. I was feeling pretty good about the world that day. But yeah, the Knob Creek 15-year single barrel is definitely one of the best bourbons that I've had, and it's the oldest. So, but Pappy was a letdown.
I've seen a few blind reviews, even between like Pappy and the just the regular small batch Knob Creek and the Knob Creek 1. Yeah.
It's I mean, between the Knob Creek single barrel and the Bookers here, it's the Backyard Barbecue. I mean, it should be putting out some top-notch stuff.
So I actually wanted to ask you about that. All three of you, what are your thoughts on Bookers?
I'm a huge Booker's fan. There's even Teresa's batch. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of it, but I still drink that over a lot of things. For $55, when you find it on a decent sale.
Absolutely. Jim,
yeah, I agree. There's always, in my opinion, a lot going on with Bookers. And for $55, you're getting a ton of flavor, a lot of proof. It definitely varies, but I think that's part of the charm of it, from year to year.
David?
I would take Knob Creek single barrel at number 1 because it's older, number 2 because it's cheaper, and number 3 because the mash bill is the exact same as Booker's, and it comes from virtually the same place within the rick house. This 15 years was from the 4th floor. I just, for me, it's tough to justify the additional cost, because when I bought Knob Creek here in Indiana, the single barrel is $50. Booker's is $85. It's tough for me to justify the extra $35 for an additional 6 proof when I can get something that's 6 proof less, but is 3 to 5 years older.
So I was about to say that I don't know where these guys are finding Bookers for $55.
We need to go there,
right? Because it's 75 minimum here in Middle Tennessee. So, I mean, but like you said, like there's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of variation, but I mean there's definitely variation between the batches. I will say I got to try. I just picked up a bottle of it, but I got to try it over at Perry's house.
Oh, nice.
This is my bourbon. This is my bourbon podcast. Me, Perry, and Chad and Sarah were all hanging out up in Kentucky, and then we went back to Perry's and had a few pours. And it was the 2019-02, the one that just came out, and it was really, really good. It was almost more of a Knob Creek-ish than Booker's-ish, but it was almost like a more complex Knob Creek. So if you see that 2019-02, was it Shiny Barrel Batch, I want to say? I would definitely pick it up. So he did say that when he first opened it, it wasn't very good, and then he tasted it a little bit every day for like 5 days, and it definitely changed over that 5 days. He just kind of kept the top off of it, and so
Yeah, at $80, I would venture off to other things. But I mean, Knob Creek General Day, I'd take it over. But if you're talking store picks, those are a whole different monster. I mean, I've never seen a 15-year store, a bunch of 14s. I always grab those, and you can't beat them for 45, $50. But as a general everyday product, that's why I like Booker's. But yeah, I mean, I usually pick it up at Costco and it'll be on sale, or I won't spend over 60 for it. I'll pass. I mean, I just have some of them, but they go on sale sometimes, but they're 70, 80, a lot of stores. I mean, there's huge price differences in Maryland from store to store. You can walk in one store and then walk the store a mile down the street. It'll be $40 more.
So Booker's is supposed to be going up to $100 retail.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not worth that.
It's supposed to be like basically $10 a year is what it'll be increasing until it reaches that $100 mark.
But like everybody's paying $100 for Little Booker, we'll just make Booker $100.
Here's what I have locally. It's the Booker's 2019, the Teresa's batch for $64.99, and then the Booker's uncut and unfiltered small batch for $64.99.
That's pretty awesome.
Kyle, you never did answer. What's the oldest bourbon you've ever had?
The Rhetoric 24 year.
What did you think of it?
It was surprisingly not over oaky.
What was the proof of it?
What was it, like 96 or 98 proof, something like that? I can find out real quick, but I think it was like just under 100. So it was super complex, really nice. 91 proof actually, and I thought it was going to be super, like an oak bomb, and it wasn't. It just a lot of those like dark fruit flavors, dark sweetness, dark caramels. So it was really well done. I was really surprised. So, Dram Man Kentucky said he can get Elijah Craig barrel proof for $50 where he's at. I freaking hate
my God.
I would drink nothing else.
Did I hear correctly? Is the latest batch from them 139 proof?
I think so.
Wow. Don't light a match.
Right.
Hazmat.
That's what's inside your body going, dump it all.
This is saying 122 for the B519. I know the A119 is like 135 proof.
Yeah, I knew that, but I had thought I had heard we had chatted last that there was one that might be 139 proof. I could be wrong.
I thought I remember hearing that too.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, if I could get Elijah Craig barrel proof for $50, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Buy a case.
Literally, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a case discount on this?
Right? Yeah, someone else said B519 is 122.2 proof. So, yeah, maybe it is. 139.4 is from 2016, which is right before they changed over to the new bottle style, which Chad Hawley has a hole. I'm trying to get one. Yeah, I did just pick up I think it's from like Lighthouse Whiskey or something like that, and it was like 148 proof, I want to say.
Damn.
Jesus.
Was it stored on the sun?
So the sticker that they chose for it, because it was a single barrel pick, says flight risk on it, which is, I think, pretty appropriate. So yeah, 147.3. Yeah.
Wow.
I have yet to pop it open yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Have you guys heard of Barrels and Brews or Carruthers? It's a store. No. Okay. They're in Middle Tennessee. If you're ever in the area, they have some phenomenal barrel picks. Them and Elixir, and there's a few others. Fairview and a bunch of others. Anyway, they started a new store, and one of their main focuses is on barrel picks. And you can go in their store, and it's like they have 20 or 25 different barrels right now. One of them that they just got in is actually a gin, and it's a barrel-aged gin. It's a ex-bourbon barrel, and it was aged for like 6.5 years in a bourbon barrel, and it's 156 proof, and it doesn't drink like it at all. So anything over 140 can't go on an airplane. That is true. Then again, I think that's just what they say. I don't know that any of the actual flight attendants or anything would actually know that it was over 140 proof. You know what I mean? Like, I think to them, it's just bourbon or it's just whiskey. It's not something that they look for. You guys poured anything new?
Some rare breed for me.
The 116?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
David's over there shaking his head.
Absolutely. It's one of the best values in bourbon, right there with Knob Creek single barrel.
I've been having a bunch of this Bellmead Reserve. It's still one of my daily drinkers.
So how much is that where you are then?
I pick it up when I can find it for 60, but it's all over the place.
I would say that's about what it is here, is about 60, 65 bucks.
Yeah.
Apparently you guys just get Booker's super cheap then.
Costco. Go to DC to Costco.
No, we get Russell's Reserve single barrel dirt cheap here too.
What's cheap on it?
I think it was $48.
Oh my gosh. I hate you.
I just paid $75 for a store pick of it.
I would say, yeah, they're 65 bucks here all day long.
Yeah, I had a store pick of Russell's Reserve that was just the single barrel that was absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the best bourbons. Well, yeah, without a doubt, one of the best bourbons I ever had. But Yeah, it's $48. For the just go to Montgomery County, and you'll find it.
I will say, so that store Barrels and Brews, they have right now, gosh, I think 4 or 5 different barrels of Russells, and of course they let you try, pretty much any of them, and I am amazed at the variances between Russell's Reserve single barrels. I mean, some of them are nice and earthy, or some of them are really sweet. Some of them are just, well-rounded and balanced. Some of them have, a lot of that turkey funk or that spicy character. I think there's just a lot of difference, between the single barrels. But
Yeah, I just got one. It's from, I haven't opened it yet, tried it out, but Rickhouse B from Total Wine. So looking forward to cracking that open one day soon.
well, what are you waiting for?
Did you just pick that up in Laurel, Scott?
Yeah, they got 2 different ones. They had a Rickhouse B and a Rickhouse D, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
They've had it for a little while, but I got it 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I see Jim over there looking at his bottle.
No, I'm trying to verify that. I'm positive it's $48. There's a website that I can go to that'll tell me that. But yeah, I think I have that single barrel.
Yeah, Montgomery County always has the cheapest prices in Maryland.
Yeah.
So Maryland's only what, like 3 or 4 miles across? I mean, it's not that big, right? Come on, it's like the size of a county.
It's it's a decent size. It's long and narrow at the top, and we spread all over. But Montgomery County is the only part in Maryland that is liquor control board controlled prices. So, and it's the place that I had won the lotteries for BTAC before, but now in the last 2 years they've narrowed it down to you have to be a resident to win it. So there goes like my only chance of winning it for retail. So no more.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying a house over there so I could get in on that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even have any friends over there because I used to just get a couple other friends to put their emails in and get a couple chances.
Yeah, I work there, so it's really easy for me.
There you go. That's a long hike.
It is, but luckily I have friends up there that could grab it for me. So we'll see. Or I could always go up and visit. So, but are you guys going to be hunting any whiskey later this year?
Yeah, I'll be hunting birthday bourbon and Four Roses, Kelly, and maybe a stag.
What about you, Jim? Do you ever go hunting?
Definitely, yeah. I'll definitely go for the stag, the William LaRue. One more, it'll come to me. But those are, Kentucky Owl, just to see. Even the number 2, the batch number 2, it was priced up and proof down, but I still liked it. It was really good. So I'm going to see what.
The Kentucky Owl rye?
Yeah, the rye. Yeah.
Man, that's got to be one of my all-time favorite ryes.
Without a doubt, yeah, it's for sure.
It's so freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
What about you, David? Are you hunting anything?
I'll probably do what Jim was talking about. Try and hunt the stag. I've got a 2018 that my parents bought for me. They found down in Florida, and the George T. Stag, that is, not the Stag Junior. The William LaRue Weller, and then I'd like to see if I can try and find the Four Roses limited edition. I mean, that would be interesting. I've never had one of the Four Roses limited editions. I hear they're excellent, so may as well.
They are. They really are.
May as well try and find them.
Where are you at, David?
I'm Bloomington, Indiana.
Is that upper state, lower state?
That is southern Indiana. So that is basically halfway down. If you go from Indy to Louisville, it's halfway.
Man, Four Roses isn't that far from you.
No, it's not. The really sad thing is, I used to live in Lexington, and I wasn't into bourbon at that time. It just wasn't my thing.
Before you cared about it?
Before I cared about it, and then we moved out, and of course, then I started caring about it. But I've been to Wild Turkey, which is amazing. I got to meet Eddie Russell. That was fantastic. He's a really great guy. But I haven't made it down to Four Roses yet. Four Roses and Woodford and Buffalo Trace are all right down there with Wild Turkey. So that's on my summer weekend trip list.
Man, last year we made the trek to Four Roses for the release. So
when did they do that release?
They usually put out well, I'm on their Mellow Moments Club, so I get emails about it beforehand, but usually it's all over social media and stuff when they're like a couple weeks before they release.
What was that experience like? I hear there's tents and a million people, and did you get a bottle?
We were actually number one. Aaron was number one in line, and that was number two.
How many? When did you get there?
Just one. They limited to one per person.
No, when did you get there to be number 1 and 2?
So last year was a little different because they had the strikes going on, the union at the time over wages and benefits of the new people or something like that. So they were striking out front. They were super, super nice, and we were actually there the day before. We got invited to go taste it the day before. So that was awesome. And so that night, though, they were worried about people with the workers striking and the people coming for the release, that there was going to be some sort of incident. And they said no one's allowed on the property before the doors open. So I think like 1 hour before the doors open or something like that. So Erin, being Erin as she does, there was a couple security guards at the gate, and she went and talked to him, and she was like, so, what's the deal? They said, we are not allowed to let you on the property before 7 a.m. So her smart ass goes, where's the property line? So they're like, well, here's the property line right here. She goes, okay, so I can stand just on the other side of that. And they're like, yeah, we can't say anything about that. So we started our own line.
Nice.
We parked back behind Four Roses at a building that was closed for the weekend and walked over, 600 or 700 yards. I mean, it wasn't that far. And we started our own line.
What time was that at?
That was probably 10 or 11 o'clock the night before.
Yikes.
I will say, though, it's really awesome because some of the releases I'm not a fan of. There's like a bunch of Nazis running it, and it's just not fun. A couple of the releases that I've been to, I've really enjoyed because it's basically everyone will show up and they'll bring 3 or 4 bottles of whiskey with them, and everyone pretty much just stays around, telling lies and sharing whiskey, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. I know of certain stores, like I said, they run it like Nazis, and they're either they'll play the game, if you will. There's a place down in Alabama where they have these rules set up, and there's like different teams, and you can have like 4 or 5 people on a team, and one person in your team has to show up like once every 8 hours or something like that. So people get in line like a week and a half ahead of time, and they'll just have like their grandmother or whoever go down because she's not working and, check in for them. And I'm not all about that.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it.
No, it's not. And it's too gimmicky. And I mean, there's no sense of camaraderie. You know what I mean? Is what it really comes down to. Where a couple of the other stores that I will go to are, like I said, everyone just hangs out. You show up and you'll either get like a ticket or, they'll write your number on your hand. And as long as you're hanging around and everyone's, having a good time, then they're cool with it. If you got to go get some food, go leave and get some food. It's not, it's basically we're all adults here. And, if you got stuff to take care of, go take care of it. But at the same time, if you go home and, for 8 hours and go sleep in your own bed, then, well, you lost your spot. But, so, yeah, it's bourbon's all about the camaraderie for me. So if, you have a store and like I said, everyone's just chilling, hanging out, and, people will bring chairs and cases of whiskey, and everyone just sits around and tries a bunch of really awesome whiskey. So,
yeah, we don't have that here. It's here. It goes to top dollar. Whoever spent the most in the store, or you walk in and you're like, and then you see the price tag and you're like, that's why it's sitting there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's one of those, you walk in, you're like, all right, what's the catch? What's the catch?
Yeah, I mean, I just walked in a store down in by the ocean this weekend. I was on vacation, and I was looking around and I saw up on the counter. I was like, oh, there's the good. I was like, there's the good stuff. And I walk up and there's William Lou Weller, $1,000, all kinds of stuff. And I'd gone there before and gotten decent stuff for decent prices. Like I bought, what did I buy? I bought Michter's Toasted there for like $68 and then they had one of those $175. I mean, they were all above secondary. I was just like, well, I can cross this off the hunt list.
So one of the guys in the chat is asking, have you guys either heard of or tried the new Slipknot whiskey?
What's
I read
the name
about
of
it today.
The band Slipknot came out with their own whiskey brand. I haven't actually heard much about it. I saw that they were coming out with it, but I haven't had a chance to actually look at it and see what it is.
Is it their juice?
No, it's sourced.
Probably not.
They aged it on tour. It's fine.
Right.
In the mask.
It's in the trucks with
It smells like
music.
weed. It's fine.
Was that David?
If it smells like pot, I'm sure it's just great.
Right. It's hemp infused whiskey. Number 9 Iowa whiskey from family-owned Cedar Ridge Winery and Distillery. Interesting.
Doesn't Cedar Ridge put out a weeded bourbon?
I'm not sure. Apparently, Fred Minnick declares the end result, quote, really good.
Glowing review.
Yeah, that's encouraging.
I used to really like what he said and stuff, and then I don't know if it's just one of those. I mean, I don't want to say he's sold out, but he sold out, I think. I don't have any proof on that. Don't take that for gospel, but
I'm just hoping one of them's a big whiskey bourbon lover, and that's why they did it.
Chad, you need to come up for the Bellmead Black Bell release this year. Yes, you do. I think the Black Bell release was like a week or two ago. Now that I think about it, and I think I missed it.
Whoops.
Yeah. Oops. In all fairness, I probably still have 5 or 6 bottles from last year, so I really didn't need any more.
For the record, Cedar Ridge is not a weeded bourbon. I was thinking of another one.
So, David and Jim, did you guys get your samples?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
David, you should have number 5, correct?
I have number 6.
Number 6.
Yes, sir.
Jim, you want to do number 6?
I have a 6. Yeah, and I have one here, but the label came off. so I don't know what it was.
It's probably a 5 then.
Okay.
There was a 5 and a 6.
Okay. Yeah. Which one are we going to do?
So I totally forgot. It should be number 6.
Okay.
You said you have, right, David?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep, 6.
This has me curious because it's a lighter color, so what the age is on it.
So I totally almost forgot that that you guys got those and needed to find out what they were. So what do you think of the color?
Kind of medium, a little on the light side, but medium. It's nice. It's kind of a golden, maybe amber.
It's light. Smells young.
Smells young.
I could be wrong, but
Okay.
Hold on a second.
I enjoy it when I get to give you guys blind stuff. No, I'm not the only one looking like an idiot. Yes.
this is probably Pappy 23 that we're tasting or something. Something crazy like that.
What are you pouring, Scott?
We're breaking open that Russell's.
Yeah, buddy. I just poured some more 101. Jim, what do you think about the nose?
I get some pear.
Okay, I could definitely go with that.
Yeah, some lighter fruit, white fruits to it. Yeah, I'm not getting much caramel or vanilla off of it.
No, I'm the same way. It almost smells maybe a little herbally.
Almost a little what?
Or maybe a little bit earthy, herbal.
Okay. Yep. At first, I thought you said Urkel. I was like Steve Urkel, or
I mean, pants all the way up. That's how we're
right? Up to the nipples, pants to the nipples.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
I definitely get the pear you're talking about, Jim.
Yeah, that's really what's standing out.
Yep.
Almost to me, there's almost like a little bit of a rye spice to it as well. Maybe a little chocolate in there too. Yeah.
You know, some of the things that y'all smell, I have no idea where you get some of this stuff. It's like, man, I can only smell pear here.
I just make shit up.
Some people
Clear
say
your
they
minds and just whatever memories or anything pops in your head. I mean, there's really no wrong answers.
Some people say they get juicy fruit bubblegum when they try whiskey, and I'm not sure where you're getting that. But you had a great childhood, I'm sure.
Man, my childhood sucked. Jim's going in.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like David went in too.
It's got a really nice oily mouthfeel to it.
That's good. The nose definitely, I don't think, does it justice for.
Not at all. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I'd say there's a fair amount of rye in that.
But in going back for the second kind of smell, I'm definitely picking up maybe a little bit more of the vanilla caramel, what you would normally expect.
Right.
But the initial nose didn't yield that, not until you really tried it. At least that's what I get.
Yeah, this is unbelievably thick and oily. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting sort of light and watery based on the nose. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, initially it smelled young, but now it doesn't. And it might. I mean, we could be sitting here talking about a 2-year-old, but bourbon, but it doesn't smell like that now.
Well, I don't think it's terribly old. I think it's relatively young.
So, Jim, you were talking about the you got some rye aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you say that?
because it tastes like it. No, I'm picking up some spiciness, a little bit of, whenever I taste rye, like in the turkey brand, I get this orange citrusy. I don't even like to say citrusy. It's like orange and almost like orange vitamin taste to it, and that sort of stands out to me as rye. The nose has a little bit of it on there as well, I think.
So I know what you mean with that like that spiciness
Yeah,
to it.
but it's
not overly spicy. It's not overpowering on the
oh
palate.
no, not at all.
Very enjoyable.
So I'm going to put you guys on the spot. What is the price tag that you would pay to put this on your shelf?
So I can taste a little corn in it. To me, that's a little telling. Trying to get the proof on it, I need to get into it a little more before I go there. The mouthfeel though is really nice. I like that oiliness. I prefer that.
I usually like a really nice, creamy, oily mouthfeel.
I would say between 90 and 100 proof, maybe 95. Doesn't drink like a super high proof.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say between 90 and 95. Yeah, 90.
This almost. I haven't had very many Russell's single barrels, but this reminds me a lot of maybe a really nice Russell's single barrel.
So you guys are really close on the proof. I will tell you, it is 100 proof.
Oh wow. Okay. Smoother.
So it does drink very smooth.
Yeah.
For the proof point, for sure.
This definitely has rye. I see what you mean, Jim. I'm getting it on the end. I'm getting a peppery finish on the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watch it be a weeder.
Yeah. Kyle's like, this is what I look like.
I'm enjoying this. A couple people in the chat said it sounds like New Riff.
I'm wondering if it's that 100 proof Rebel Yell or that he's got.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
He's just been tempting us the entire time.
So, no.
Do you want to see the price?
But to answer your question completely, yes, and also a large resounding no.
Oh, that totally answers my question.
You want to know what it is?
Well, do you want us to give a price?
Jim, yeah, I was going to say, Jim didn't give a price.
So a price, I would go, I'm a cheapskate. I would go with $30. $30.
I'm probably in that 40 to 45 range.
Yeah, 30 to 40. 30 to 40 for me. 40 is my hard stop on it.
45 would be my hard
If
stop.
you guys can see, it is the Rebel Yell 10-year.
It's a leader. That's hilarious.
Don't worry, I've done that before too. Red Weller 12-year.
Yeah.
Where Jason and I were both like, this has got to be a rye. There's a lot of spice on here.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the price point on that?
So here in Middle Tennessee, they're about $70, 65.
Oh,
Wow.
shoot.
You can't find it here in Indiana.
No, it's not easy to find here in Tennessee either. I lucked into a bottle, so thought I'd share with you guys.
Yeah, there's no way that I would guess it's 10 years. To me, it tastes. To me, I describe this as younger, little spicy rye. That is interesting because it's got a really oily, thick mouthfeel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I was going to say I really do like that nice oily thick mouthfeel.
Yeah.
With it, I think there's a lot of subtle hints on the flavor, but on the nose there's very very little.
Yeah. Yep.
Jim, you want to try your other one?
Man, I'm batting 1,000 already. So sure. Is that? Yeah, this one. This is number 5.
Yep.
I'm better suited for the game of does this taste like vanilla or caramel or rye?
Trey, it is me. Erin is over at a friend's house, helping her with her stuff. So it's just me. She took the kids. I'm here all alone. So me with my 3 best friends.
Love you too.
I love you, man.
I was once a wolf pack of one.
Man, I didn't grab enough bottles. I've already gone through everything that I grabbed.
You need to pump those bottles up. Those are rookie bottles.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pump
That's
those
right.
numbers up. So I did the Rebel Yell 100 proof, the small batch select, John J. Bowman single barrel, the Larceny, and Wild Turkey 101, because you always got to have some 101 in your life.
So I did the 101 rare breed, Old Forester bottle and bond, or
The 100 proof?
yeah, that one.
Oh, that is such a good buy.
The 1920, 1776. I'm going to keep going. I did grab this for last, but I didn't drink it.
So your number of bottles, you went from rookie to alcoholic to professional.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is that one a little darker, probably?
Yeah, it is. It's a little darker. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me anything about it, but yeah,
Oh,
it's
no, man,
definitely.
I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Yeah, I think I've had this before based on the nose, but it's definitely a little darker. It has a nose to it that I say a lot, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, but a little bit of a cola, like Coca-Cola.
I can definitely see that. Yep.
And a little bit of burnt wood and some vanilla. There's some floralness to it. Actually, as you get into it, they're not necessarily aromas that I really dig, but there's a lot there. Yeah. All right.
David, what did you just pour?
So my bourbons tonight have been. I started with the Evan Williams Black Label. Then I progressed to the Knob Creek Single Barrel.
Yep.
And my last 2 pours have been Booker's 02 2018 Backyard Barbecue.
That's probably one of my favorite Booker's batches.
It's almost gone, and I have to say, even though I brag about how great Knob Creek is, I'm really sad that this is almost coming to an end. So I'll have to pick up the 09.
This is really good.
You like it?
Wow. Yeah. Like I'm thinking like 110, 115 proof.
Yep. What about you, Scott? What'd you pour throughout the night?
I started with New Riff single barrel, and then I had some couple Bell Meads reserves, and I had the Russells, which I'd go over to Total Wine get another one, and then I'm having some good old rare breed.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. So, Jim, would you say this one's a little more in your wheelhouse? Or
Oh, wow. Yeah. yeah, no doubt. This is really good. It's very oily. It's similar. Actually, I think it's every bit. Yeah, it's just more complex. It's interesting. The mouthfeel is more complex than that other one, if that makes any sense. But it's,
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say, equally as oily. And the flavors, I'm still trying to process them, but there's a lot. There's a lot here.
There's a lot of those dark, just
Yeah, chocolate, dark. Yeah, like chocolate covered orange. That type. It's really good. And there's a little bit of vanilla in it. It just keeps going. A long, long, long finish on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process it.
No, I don't blame you. It is. There's definitely a lot in there. Chad Hawley says Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof is straight cherry Dr. Pepper to him. You were talking about that cola flavor earlier.
Yeah.
Chad, if I only had 200 more open bottles to choose from. Smart ass.
This is really rich. One of the more rich bourbons that I've ever had.
Damn, I wish I could.
There's a lot going on in there.
There is. It's a little tough to process. A long, long finish. I mean, it doesn't stop. I'm waiting for it to stop so I can even trying to cleanse the palate to taste it again, but it just keeps going.
What's
really
that, David?
good.
I said, "Damn, I wish I had the sample of this." Need to pump the Patreon numbers up. Those are rookie contributions.
Those are rookie numbers.
That's right.
Of course, Scott over here, he just gets to watch you guys make a fool of yourself. So
Yeah.
This is perfect for me. No pressure.
But you know what? We get to try great bourbon and hang out with great people. So it's all good.
Yep.
that is what it is all about.
I mean, if I had to take a guess, I'd have to say it's some type of Russell's. That's about the closest that I could get to it. But it's not. It doesn't seem quite there. If it is one, I don't think I've had it. But that's probably the closest that I would get. It's right in about the right proof. It's really oily. I mean, it's awesome.
So
what is it?
Have you had
I'd pay $100 for that bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's about what it would go for. Have you had a lot of finished stuff in the past?
Not too much, honestly.
So it is a store pick from Lincoln Road. It is a Bellmead sherry finished whiskey, and it is right about 109 proof, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I actually left the bottles at my work, so that's why
I've never had any of their whiskey.
They put out some really, really awesome stuff. Scott could tell you about it.
I'm a big fan of Bellmead.
Well, I am now.
Yeah. Especially any of their cast strength stuff. If you see it for a decent price, it's worth it.
So their finished stuff is usually like 94 proof. But with it being a store pick, they put it out at barrel proof. So I think it's right around that 109 mark. So you were pretty spot on with that.
So Bellmead, barrel proof, sherry finished, and that's it. And a barrel pick.
Yeah, it's a barrel pick, so it's not the off the shelf one that's like 94 proof-ish. Which I mean, those are still really good.
Do you know what the mash bill's like on that?
It's one of the MGP. I think it's the high rye MGP mash bill.
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
So I think it's right around like 30% ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I thought I had a picture without the bottle in front of the label, but I can't seem to find it. But yeah, it's a really, really good one. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I can't say as I pick up any the sherry finish. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's contributing to a little bit of that darker chocolate flavor to it. And total cola nose to it to me. Yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot. I'm going to have to search that out.
Nice.
I've not really seen any Bell Mead store picks too much in Maryland so far. I did get one of the sherry ones in New Orleans. Did you get your tickets for New Orleans for next year?
Not yet, no. So spoiler alert, we're talking about hosting an event while we're there.
Nice.
Hosting a tasting. So we will see.
Mm.
If not, then I'll go ahead and get my tickets. But we're talking about it right now with them.
Awesome.
Bourbon Saint is in the house. He said it is 30% rye MGP. So, well, by the way, if you guys haven't checked out Bourbon Saint's channel, he's doing some really cool videos, putting out some good content. So be sure to check him out. Drayman Kentucky said, good call on the notes. He gets a lot of chocolate and orange on those. Whiskey Ace is back. So Scott, what'd you go pour? I saw you grabbing something.
I just refilled on Rare Breed.
That's really good. You got the 116 there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what laser code this one is, but yeah, I mean you can't
probably about the same.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
I could be wrong, but I think they do a single batch for like they did like the 112 proof, that was one batch. They did the 116 proof, that was a batch.
No, I thought they were still putting it out like multiple times.
That'd be a question.
It's been 116 for more than a year and a half.
Yeah, it has.
Mine's the LLFC.
I again need my glasses and don't have them, so it's blending in.
I can go grab mine real quick, but it's on the other side of the house, more or less. Yeah, Rare Breed's really, really hard to beat for the price. I mean, it's $45 barrel proof. You know, I think they say 8 to 10 year product. So,
yeah, I'd say that sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Buffalo Trace fanboy, but there's not too many Buffalo Trace barrel proofs, and I feel like I'm a proof whore anymore. So, besides the Stag Junior.
I really like the Stag Junior. Of course, the Elijah Craig barrel proof. I'm a huge fan of. But really, for
the price,
for more of, well, I was gonna say more of like a daily drinker, the 100 to 115 proof is really kind of that sweet spot for me. Like I said, I really like the 130, 140 proof stuff, but
yeah. I mean, that's I think why I think I like the Bell Mead so much. Like this one's 120.8 that I have now. I think the last one I had was like 111, but a little bit more. But I mean, I mix it up.
I mean, some people kind of like stick their nose up. They're like, "Oh, it's barrel proof, but it's only 102," and I'm like, "Cool, I'm good with it."
Yeah. I mean, if you say bottle to bond, I'm like, that sounds like I'm gonna like it.
Right? Like I have nothing bad to say about that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that gets to when you were asking earlier about whether you think a bourbon can be too old. I think that if there's a lot of factors that determine whether it can be too old and you don't like it. You know, what the char was, what the temperatures were when it was aging, and what it went into the barrel, and what the humidity was. And so did it dehydrate and lose a lot of, or gain a lot of proof or not? You know, so I think all of those influence it. But I love getting the Four Roses picks that are, barrel proof and 105 proof, and they're awesome. They've got a lot of flavor. They're not cut with any water, and they're at 105. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. Four Roses picks, Bell Mead picks, that kind of stuff. I mean, when they're, like I said, 102 proof, 105 proof, yeah, absolutely, man. Sign me up. I'm not mad about that at all. Yeah. Do I get excited about, like 123 proof Four Roses? Yeah. would I get excited over like a 96 proof Four Roses single barrel? Yeah, I would.
Exactly. Yeah, right. I totally agree.
Brent Elliott was saying it's not super uncommon for them to pull single barrels out that are less than 100 proof.
No
So
kidding.
they can't use them for the on the shelf one because they can't cut it to 100. But yeah, they'll put them through through their barrel program and stuff. I think he said he's seen them come out as low as like 92 proof.
Are they sitting on the first and second floor then, Kyle?
Yes, yeah, that would be the lower floors for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So which is actually one of the things I always look for on the regular single barrels, the off the shelf ones that bottled at 100 proof. If it's on a first floor, chances are it probably came out of the barrel at 105, no more than 110 proof. So it was probably not watered down all that much. So
I'm a big fan of any Four Roses store pick. It's like they have a marketing that they know. Just hey, there's 10 recipes. You have to get all 10. They just know that we all want them all.
It probably took me a year at least of really trying to find them to get all 10.
It's like the McDonald's Happy Meal of bourbon. Like all 10.
Yeah,
You got to get every
I don't
toy.
even think I have all 10. Yeah. I heard they have like different events in Kentucky where they'll go and they'll have all 10 recipes, and then like a blending competition with like where Brett goes and different people, and you get to try all of them and then try to make your own and have little contests and stuff. I was like, sign me up. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw when Chad and Sarah went to that.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
The Lexington Bourbon Society, and I was like, dude, that would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. Bourbon Saint said the problem is all 10 recipes are good. I mean,
What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
right?
My wallet sees a problem, but I don't see a problem.
I will say there's ones that I'm a bigger fan of than others. A couple of them can get fairly floral. And I'm not a huge fan of that when they get that super floral note. But I've had like 2 recipes back to back of the same recipe, and one of them had it and one of them didn't. So I mean, it's not like it's recipe dependent. You know what I mean? So
Well, and it's interesting that you said that, because earlier when we were talking about some of these producers that were going from MGP products to theirs, and you wondered whether or not there would be a big difference. How can't there be when we have major companies like Four Roses that have the precise recipe, and you get a store pick, which obviously it's going to depend on the person that's tasting it from barrel to barrel, but clearly there's differences from barrel to barrel with precise recipes. So there's no way that there won't be a big variation with.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like I said, like we're talking about Russell's, you know what I mean? Those are all the same recipe, and some are earthy, some are floral, some are spicy, some are, sweet. I mean, it all depends. And even you get ones out of the same warehouse that can taste completely different. So.
Yeah, totally agree.
So have you guys had a chance to have a new riff yet?
Oh man. Yeah.
Apparently Jim's a fan.
Yeah. I've had a few different ones. They're single barrel and they're non-single barrel, and everything that I've had of theirs is really good and very impressive given their age.
Oh yeah. I mean, they pull those barrels out at no more than like 4 years, 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Maybe 4 years, 1 month. I mean, they're right at that 4-year mark. And I think they're just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried their Rise yet?
No.
I haven't got my hands on one of those yet. I'm trying to figure out what I can trade my buddy in Cincinnati to send me one of those.
Have you had it yet, David?
No, I haven't. It's sitting on the shelf at my local liquor store, and they have both the rye and the bottled and bond, and I'm gonna have to pick them up now because not only have you guys talked about it, but I mean Aaron's talked about how good it is, and I mean, there's just been countless reviews that said you got to pick this up. It's like, damn.
Yeah. If you haven't picked it up yet, I mean, you're missing out if you can get your hands on it. I have not tried the rye yet. I actually have a barrel of it, or a bottle of it.
Barrel, really?
I wouldn't be surprised if you had a barrel of it, Kyle.
Don't judge me.
No judgment there.
No, it's jealousy. It's jealousy.
Exactly.
Those are not rookie numbers.
No, not at all.
Those are rookie barrels.
So I haven't had a chance to open it up yet. I'm kind of excited to. I actually, through a good friend, was able to get me a single barrel store pick, the regular bottled and bond, and the rye for like $140. So
Wow. Perfect.
yeah, I was excited. I was like, yeah, I'll take a set of that. So like I said, I haven't had a chance to open up the rye yet, but I'm excited to. I'm looking forward to it. Rye in general kind of seems to age better or faster than bourbon does. So, I mean, if it's a 4-year rye, then that should be good all the way around.
Needs to be on your next blind.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll definitely put it on there. I'm sure Erin will, since she's the new riff fan anyway. William says, open that bad boy up. I probably would right now, but it's at my work. So it's in my second bunker, if you will.
I need a job where I can keep.
I was going to say, I need a job where I can store my bourbon there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I get caught with any alcohol, it's the end of a career.
Yeah.
So my buddy that I work with, he actually just put shelving up in his four shelving units in his office. I shouldn't say shelving units, but like the floating shelves. He just put 4 of them up in his office for whiskey specifically. So it's good. It works out. It works out well.
I'm always out in the parking lot exchanging samples because I'm always giving people samples and stuff, but it's always like in a little brown paper lunch bag, all shady in the parking lot, like out of the trunk into their trunk. Okay, let's go back into work.
Right.
Are you wearing your
not dealing drugs?
Hey, you want some samples?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to buy some crack?
Right.
Right. But not like a mean crack dealer. Like,
Yeah, it's like a nice crack dealer.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you picked it up. You got it, Scott.
Hey, man, first one's free. Drayman Kentucky said the rye is dangerous. He said, be careful. It's very easy to drink. Man, I should have grabbed one, but.
So in my opinion, New Riff is probably the most exciting. And I hate to say this because there are a lot of great micro distilleries out there and new distilleries out there, but these guys are really doing a fantastic job. And in my opinion, by far, producing the best drinkable whiskey, grain to glass of anybody out there.
Yeah, they're really putting out good stuff.
I really respect the fact that they, sourced it, but put it under a different label and waited for their new juice and then put it on under the New Riff label. And then, I mean, I don't think they rushed it. I mean, this is a product to be proud of and it's worth every penny. I mean, you go to a lot of craft distilleries and they're like $85 for our bottle of bourbon. And I'm like, this is horrible. Yeah.
At 80 proof and 2 years old.
That's right. There she is, the bride of bourbon right there.
I don't know about that one.
We started talking about New Riff and Aaron perked up.
That's right.
Got at my friend's house. I just got home with the kids.
She heard New Riff and ran home.
Said you need to get that rye into one of the new videos.
I haven't had the rye yet.
It's at my office.
Shocker.
Does a lot of work get done at your office? Cause
There's a
Yeah.
lot of bourbon at my office.
yeah,
It's my office too. I work there too, but
okay.
don't carry the cat like that. Oh, we're still. I thought you muted me. Sorry, guys.
Aaron also walked in the house with the kids, so they're gonna go watch
Watch a movie because it's 11 o'clock at night, and isn't that what 4-year-olds do at 11 o'clock at night, and 8-year-olds?
I think they have bookers at 11 p.m.
Booker solves all the problems.
Yeah, you
That-
just rub
that's
it on their
right.
gums, not a full drink or anything.
No.
Actually, that's really good for teething. I have been known to do that when everything else fails, and you know what? It works.
It's
Whatever
really good
works.
for depression too.
For what?
For depression.
It's a really good short-term gain for depression.
Exactly.
Oh, we got all sorts of people in the chat tonight.
Chad says hi.
Hi, Chad, and there was someone else. Hi, Walter.
That's Trey.
Oh, Walter Jones. Yeah. Hey, Trey. Please don't kill me. Last person we knew that was on here, I couldn't drink bourbon for 2 weeks.
Katie says hi too.
Hi, Katie. Trying to catch it.
Single barrel bourbon or rye new riff. Oh,
Haven't had the rice, so I can't say. But the single barrel is amazing if you get a good barrel or a good bottle.
yeah, barrel. It's barrel.
And their other is the regular is bottled in bond, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what I've had. I had a single barrel that was really good, but I was particularly impressed with the bottled in bond.
Yeah.
Go.
The first bottle of New Riff that we had that was a single barrel,
He's fine.
I didn't think was as good as the regular off the shelf bottled in bond. But the next one that we got was just freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, the single barrel, the first one we got was good. It just wasn't great.
It wasn't as good as the regular one.
And it begins. Aaron's back. Everyone's gonna poison me. I don't have any bookers right now. But I am doing. I think this is this what I poured. No, I poured
John J. Bowman.
John J. Bowman, and I will gladly. I'll finish that.
Cheers to
For
Chad.
Chad, cheers.
Chad just gave a super chat, so Aaron will drink to that.
So, what is a super chat?
So every show does it a little bit differently. I've heard people ring bells, right?
Yep.
I've heard I don't know. It's people give you money in the chat and
Peso's just a little donation in the chat.
And how does that donation transact? Because
I do not know.
Well,
I'm feeling like getting Aaron really fucked up right now.
YouTube steals 30%.
Yeah,
Only
YouTube.
30? Hey, you're doing good.
YouTube takes their 90% cut.
Okay, I thought it was 30.
No, I think it is right about 30%. And then
We'll
there's
send you a check.
yeah,
Transfer money somehow electronically.
yeah.
So- But we finish our glasses when we do. And I don't know if you watched the one where I got very sloppy drunk. And
I did.
I actually went to go. I was like, how bad did I get? And I watched 20 seconds. And I was like, okay, turn it off. It's that bad. It really is that bad.
It's on the internet forever.
It will be. I was like, Kyle's like, I can delete it. And I'm like, nope, just leave it. I'm not looking at this.
Well, that's what totally made me interested in learning how to do that. So what's the deal? You go with Facebook or something?
It's on YouTube.
If you're in the chat in YouTube, under the
Where you type, there's a smiley face and there's a money sign.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
It said show your support for
Support.
Bourbon Blind.
Send
I
PayPal.
got drunk, but I had a 1-day hangover, and that's unheard of for me. Like, I don't get hangovers. I don't usually get sick.
Must be nice.
Oh, it was bad. It was ugly.
Dreadman Kentucky said his wife was dying.
Laughing? Sure.
Oh, probably, absolutely.
guys are evil.
So, I need something else to pour, man.
You don't have any new riff. You guys are here sitting talking about new riff. Let's get it.
Okay. You can't scare me.
I ain't scared.
William said you were a good sport.
Should grab some Noah's Mill.
I think I have a Noah's Mill. I'll grab it when she gets back.
No, I'm kidding.
Noah's Mill.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna have a little Four Roses OESV, 9 years, 9 months.
OESV?
Yeah.
All right, let me go find that.
Jim's got it on lock over there.
I still have work to do, so I'm not going to drink a whole lot.
Also gonna go refill my water glass.
That is not a bad idea. Cheers on water.
Can you grab another glass also? I know. I asked so much.
You're a slave driver.
So this is the new riff barrel that we got that wasn't all that good. It was out of Kentucky. Right out of the 110 proof, 111 proof. So I think it wasn't bad by any means. I think Jim's got more bottles than me over there.
I think so. It's,
Cling, cling, cling.
Right.
Yeah.
I have just a little bit, but I got some. And it's 57.2, so 104.4.
Where's that one from?
It's a Four Roses OESV.
It's
What
114.
store
It's
pick?
114.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
Sure.
So I am
Right,
drinking wine.
114.2.
Whose
Yeah.
store pick is it?
What's that? Creston up in Delaware.
Okay. Oh, no tax. Nice.
Jim, do you have all 10 recipes?
I might. I have bottles stashed like all over the place, so I haven't really counted.
I feel your
All
pain,
10.
sir. I feel your pain.
I think what you have is a little bit more than a couple bottles stashed.
No. I do have a couple bottles stashed besides my main stashes.
You have like bolts beside your main stashes.
I try to keep track of my recipes by taking like pictures and then
Oh, that's
on my
awesome.
phone so I don't forget what I have because I'm like, I need that. And I'll come home and be like, oh, I already have 3 of those.
But now I have 4. So
Yeah.
that's even better than 3.
It's not a horrible problem for me, but
So how real is FOMO for you?
Very.
What's going on?
Fear of
You're
missing.
missing out.
I think I just have a collecting issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Why buy one when you can buy 4, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
You get a bigger discount when you do, right?
Yeah.
Honestly though, it's gotten better for me over probably like the last year or so.
We don't have any room for any bottles.
I don't know. I just found a place to get a case of it from Kentucky. So
So where are we putting them?
You're
just
just
in my work closet.
yeah, you're just hiding more and more at work. Oh, you work the same place.
I will. One of these days, I'm going to take pictures of where the bourbon is in my office, or not my office. You haven't started stashing them in there. You have a couple places in there you could stash.
I was gonna say you haven't found all my stashes yet.
We've got quite a few closets in there.
No, but as far as FOMO goes, I mean, it's like I said, it used to be really bad. I used to just buy anything that was slightly even allocated, anything that was a store pick, absolutely anything I could get my hands on, and it's really, really come down. I
To the
realized
wife
that.
saying no.
Yes, honey. Yes. But no, I mean, I've realized that there's a lot of good bourbon out there, and there's going to be more. You know what I mean? It's not going anywhere. If anything, there's just going to be more and more. So, I mean, with all the new distilleries popping up and everything else, I mean, there's no way to keep up. There's absolutely no way
Who
to
is
keep up.
asking this? Somebody is asking, have you guys had the Wilderness Dram Man, Kentucky? Have you guys had the Wilderness Trail? And he says, to me, they're the best new distillery. I don't know if I've had
I
one.
think I had the rye.
I want to say I've seen it. I don't know
Were
if
they
I.
at the New Orleans Bourbon
I think they
Festival?
were.
I think
I
I
think
had
they were.
that. I was thinking that they were outside, weren't they?
I think so.
I think they were next to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail people.
Speaking of which, I think Scott said he already got his tickets for New
Yep.
Orleans.
Me and Katie will be back. We invited a couple other friends have already locked in too. Our one friend came last year, but a couple other friends of us are like, yeah. And I was like, so I mean, it was worth every penny. It was so much fun. I mean,
Yeah.
we met you guys and a bunch of other people, and Tammy, Brian, and Chad and Katie,
Chad and Sarah.
Chad and Sarah. Sorry,
Chad and Keith.
Well,
I
that's
never knew that about Chad, but I don't judge.
force of habit with my Katie. And just a bunch of people. And so we have a bunch of friends around here and that we hang out with our bourbon friends that we just do like it. So a couple of them said actually today they locked in. We're like, you're going to love it. I'm like, I don't want to tell everybody because then it won't be as cool. Whoops.
I think they said they were looking at a new venue for next year where they could house more stuff and more people.
We were talking about that today. So, because when we were there, they were talking about it was still going to be at the hotel because they had. But I wonder if they're talking about for tasting because that's kind of small.
Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and next year, I got to figure out how to get on the list to go to like the special parties. To leave there and go over to the Buffalo Trace one and that had the special pencil.
And I got William LaRue Weller, whatever. I don't even know what I was drinking. Yeah.
We had that going in. I mean, the VIP hour was worth every penny. I mean, we had what they said. What was it? Pappy 15 the one day, Pappy 20 the second day, William and Weller both days, Stag.
Well, I got it later in the night. Eddie Russell came up and I was just standing next to him and the guy at the Sazerac table was going crazy. He's like, "You got a celebrity behind you," and I'm like, "Looks like a guy that just wants some whiskey."
Brent Elliott is my new best friend.
But he doesn't need, no introductions are needed there. And he goes, "Well, what do you want?" And he's like, "What are you pouring?" And he bent down and picked up a bottle. And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I want that." And he's like, "I really can't." I'm like, "Look around."
Yeah.
Give me some.
There's no one here.
There's nobody here. And so, I got to try that one. It was really good. But
I mean, the access you have to the master distillers there.
Like, here, have the same thing. So
we both got it for each other.
Yeah, like we had dinner with Brent Elliott. I mean, at our table. I mean, and he was just the nicest guy ever. I mean, they were dragging him away from our table to go talk to other tables because he was just so engrossed with our table with Tammy and Brian was there too. I mean, and then Eddie and Freddie. I mean, and they were even recognizing different people like throughout the weekend and stuff, and saying hi. And I mean, they do this every day for their job.
So I will say, Brent Elliott has this way of talking to you where you literally feel like you are the only person in the room.
He does. I mean, he's just that charismatic.
And he's just genuine. I really honestly believe that he is not putting on any sort of front, not any sort of
no, I just think that's his charm.
He is, and a great guy. Awesome guy. Also, shoot, I can't remember her name that was working with him at sorry, I met way too many people that weekend. And
I hear you.
It was with at the Four Roses table, blonde. Katie? No.
I know who you're talking about.
I know who you're talking about too.
Anywho, that they all were really awesome. I ended up talking to them about Dauberge. If you ever find yourself in New Orleans, get out just outside the city is Metairie. And my favorite bakery's been there since 1950. I want to say 51. They have
a while.
and they make d'auberge, which is basically a 7-layer French cake.
It's a fancy word for cake.
And it's amazing. It really is. And so I brought
like
them
cake.
cake and, you know,
It's
great people.
tasty.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's to me, that's better than beignets. So
Jim, you got that book, right? I sent that out.
I did. Yes, that
Okay.
was ridiculous. I mean, beyond cool. Beyond cool. I did.
So we want to make sure that we made it worth your while. We
You absolutely. No, you made it more than worth my while. That was like, that's probably one of the most prized possessions that are laying around my place right now. I can't tell you how many people have come up here and said, "Holy shit, he signed up." Yeah, you know, we're tight. You know, I said, you don't need to put my name in there, but you know, it's okay if you do. That's totally cool. Thank you.
We're cool.
Yeah, totally cool.
Speaking of which, I might put on some questions on Patreon for you guys and Brent Elliott. More
New Orleans. I can do that. I can say it all day long. My family's from down there. The draw comes out from time to time. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got a super chat, so I'll say New Orleans, and I am drinking wine,
there's
but
a new riff.
I got it. It's a Apothic Inferno. It's bourbon wine. It still counts.
But
Can I
does
tell
it?
that, sir?
Cheers.
That is delicious.
Yeah, like, I mean, speaking of Brent, I mean, like, you know, here's one of my favorite pictures I like to brag with and stuff, you know, with my bestie.
Look at his face, though. I mean, he is like so.
I mean, he was just so into the conversation. I mean, he was, talking about like how he got into it. I mean, like, we were a little skeptical about the dinner and stuff, and he sat at our table, and I mean, it was just
How was
so
it?
cool. Yeah, I mean, it was just amazing. Like, and then for him to be just so personal, like you said, like, you know, he was fully engaged, you know, with us. He didn't care about the whole other room. I mean, there's another 50 people at that dinner, and they were pulling him away to go speak because he was, you know, he's just in the moment with whoever he's with, and that's who he wants to talk to.
Yeah, Scott, but did he really remember your name?
Yes, he did.
See, got my name written there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're best buds. It's clear. It even says it right there. To my best buddy, Jim. Actually, I think it says Jimbo. Yep, Jimbo.
I don't know if mine says best bud, but you know. But I mean, yeah, I can't say enough about him. He was really impressive.
Like when you go to a bottle release or something, he'll usually be there signing bottles. And I mean, he's got a line of, you know, 300 people behind you, and
he does not care.
Oh,
he doesn't
no.
care.
I mean, it was just like the book signing. Like, he was just, I don't care how long the line is. However long you want to talk, I'll talk to you. It's great.
Yeah,
And,
he's really awesome.
I want to know how he cheers everyone at the Bourbon Festival. Like every single person he did a drink with. And I was like,
small drinks.
Oh, I don't think so. I watched him pour at least the first 5, and I was like, oh.
He's also good with names because, like, the whole weekend he knew, you know, all our names and stuff like that. Because I'd pass him in the hallway or at the tasting, and he's like, "Hey, Scott, you know, how's it going? You having a good time?" and everything. And I was like, I'm horrible with names, so I'm just like even more impressed.
I was surprised because he remembered my name, and I mean, he even sent me these notes. I mean, I was like, dude. I mean, look, we're buds, but
Man, did he slip them under your hotel doors there?
Look, your little hearts on it.
Yeah, you might have a
I
case
think
there.
was. Yeah.
Hotel concierge sent you up chocolates.
Yeah, there was a heart on there, actually.
Elliott is the master distiller for Four Roses. Who else did we mention? Eddie Russell, he obviously is doing Wild Turkey. And then Fred No and
Freddie No.
That's going to be, hold on. You're actually impressed with this. I can do this now. That's going to be Booker's, which is going to be Jim Beam. I can do it.
Hey, Kyle, what's your thoughts on Little Book?
Yes.
On what?
What are your thoughts on Little Book? What are your? I have a bottle of unopened No Simple Task, which is the Canadian whiskey blend. Have you had it before?
I was really skeptical on it, to be honest, and especially with it being Canadian. Although I tried it and it was good. It Little Book.
I have not.
Batch 2.
Yeah, batch number 2.
It's Freddie's son.
Yeah, it's a blend between.
Whose dog?
That's mine. Sorry, they're fighting over a bone.
Aw. Anyway, I would like to try that. We don't have a. Do we have a bottle of that?
We don't have a bottle of Little Book.
Oh.
I thought Erin was saying she wanted to fight over a bone.
No. Don't need the bone. Do need the Little Book. Jim Beam is like starting to become very near and dear to my heart.
All right, so I will send you a sample of that.
So
Really?
David,
Oh,
what do you think about the Knob Creek, the barrel proof? Do you like that?
There's a Knob Creek barrel proof.
The 120 proof.
So I'm a huge fan of the Knob Creek 120 proof.
Really?
I just think it's a great value.
Do we have
But
it?
as I'm sitting here drinking this, I'm sitting here drinking Booker's.
No.
So at the festival, I did the Little Booker's breakdown. And that made me more of a fan of it because they had all the different whiskeys that went into it separately. So you got to taste them and go through it with Freddie and then taste the Little Booker too. So it was like a 40-year-old Canadian whiskey and an 8-year-old bourbon and another Canadian and something else, I think. So that was a cool experience.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So Scott, I see some Maker's Mark behind you, some Pikesville rye. I can't tell what that one is, but I really like the one with the checkered white and red.
Oh, the Maker's Mark with the little
The hat, the shirt.
yeah. It's got the jockey shirt for Preakness for me, but I think this was actually for Kentucky Derby. But
Nice.
So here is the
single barrel.
Yep,
Is that a store pick, Kyle?
it is, and it is the
It's
double
Tarek.
bucked. That's what Tarak looks like. The guy that owns Elixir Spirits in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
So it's funny because a gentleman that I buy a lot of that from is probably from the same country.
Is
And
his last name Patel?
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. I'll grab a couple bottles.
So I will say this double booked is probably
Really
it's
good.
it is probably it not probably it is
No.
the best Knob Creek single barrel I have ever had.
Is Tarek even here?
Tarak is on vacation this week.
Where?
nice.
I don't know.
We
None
should,
ya.
none your business.
None ya.
We
He's
need-
actually out of the store for a week. So
Wow. I didn't know they released him. Chad Holly says the 40-year Canadian in it is pretty cool. Okay. Trey, sorry, not sorry. If we make you drink more and Tasha's mad, that sounds like a personal issue.
Personal decision problem.
Yep.
I can't even get this open.
Oh, please. If I get this and you can't, I don't
Like
laugh.
seriously waxy. So here's the one that I have.
I got it.
I liked how they put that metal band across the top.
Yeah, it
But-
looks really good.
And they've got, they put another, they said the barrel number is barrel number 4630B, and it's 14-year-old. And they've got a whole bunch of it still. Now, I think I'm the only person buying it from them, so.
I'm getting
Yeah,
it.
you should come over to the island and get some. It's
All right.
like
Yeah.
$44 a bottle.
Yeah. No, you can't beat that. I'm headed that way for 4th
Well,
of
I didn't
July.
listen it. I had to use my teeth.
Whatever works.
Yep.
Sometimes a little teeth is good.
That's what she said.
Whatever it takes, right?
Oh man, it's.
I am never getting invited back.
Are we finishing that tonight?
Maybe.
There's not that much left.
I don't know. We're gonna see how my stomach does with bourbon.
So this this barrel of Knob Creek, like I said, it's the double booked, which is just a single barrel store pick, but it definitely drinks a lot more like a Booker's than the regular Knob Creek does.
Leave that one alone with the 10-foot pole, please.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to.
What?
There's comments that I was expecting Kyle to keep going. Anywho, that's enough.
What, Trey?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was looking at Dram Man.
What is K
Knob Creek single barrel uncorking.
uncorking?
Eyeglasses. Yeah, because that freaking wax, it gets
gets stuff.
everywhere.
Oh, no doubt.
And then
That's
you
the new bottles.
and then it's like a super tight cork, and then the lid on it only sticks up like the thickness of a quarter above the fucking glass.
Yeah.
Like
Just use your teeth.
they do not make it easy to get into. I mean, it's only
What is all over the bottle?
wax.
No, there's
It's
like
the wax that they dip it in.
Oh, that's not that really isn't wax though. It's something screwy. I guess it's
it's kind of like a fiberglass. I mean, it's got like string.
Well, that's where the pull tab string is.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like fiberglass, less the fiber.
I mean, it's
Or less the glass.
yeah. I mean, they say it's a wax, but I'm not convinced. I'm with you. Because
Is anyone else a sucker when they do the tour? They have to put their thumbprint and get whatever they're bottling at the day.
we haven't done the Knob Creek tour yet,
No,
or the
we
Jim
haven't.
Beam tour yet, but I will. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can. They get you every.
You know, you've been on quite a few tours.
So
They get you coming and going. They get you. You know, you get to fill. You know, wash the bottle out yourself, and then put it on the conveyor belt, and then go over and they dip it, and then you put your thumbprint in it, and then they can charge you for that, and then they take you up there and you get it etched, you know, and charge you for that, and they got the whole experience down perfect for, you know, emptying my wallet.
Exactly. That's the whole name of the
Yeah,
game.
they got it down.
And then I bet they have exclusive bottles in the bottle shop, so then you got to buy those too.
Not when I've been there. The only thing is when I went there 2 years ago, Little Book 1 was there when it wasn't released outside of Kentucky, but like a month and a half later, it was everywhere. So it was less exciting then.
Well, every distillery's got their thing. I mean, Four Roses, you have the recipes that you can't necessarily find elsewhere. I've been known to call up to the distillery and be like, "Hey, what's in the
gift shop?"
So that I
Yeah, well, now it's like they come and go so quickly. Before, I've been going for years because I got a buddy from college that is in Kentucky. So we'd meet up and we'd go to the distilleries and go do Knob Creek Machine Gun Rally and, you know, hang out. But now the last 2 times I've gone, they don't have like a Brent Elliott pick in the gift shop at the time.
Whoa.
He said they go fast now because they got to go through the middleman, you know, so they can't just bring it out. So
They need to get away with that. I know in California, the wineries and anyone that distills beer can distill, like if you're brewing, they'll open up their breweries and you can have like tasting rooms and you can drink what they're pouring on tap. Kentucky just needs to get away with this liquor business and just be able to sell their own shit.
I think it's most states. Maryland's the same thing. Like the few little craft ones that are popping up, they can't even go to festivals because of weird laws and stuff like that.
Just wrong. You should be able to sell your own stuff. We need to fix these laws, get these people out of office, but that's just me. Everyone needs to drink.
Jim, what were you just pouring?
So I was pouring some Midwinter's Night Dram because I was you you gave me that Bell Mead, and honestly, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say, but I haven't had many finished spirits, and I was so impressed. That was Aaron. We had a Bell Mead. I don't know. Kyle will tell you what it was, but it was freaking phenomenal.
Ooh, it is a good one.
Oh
it
my
really is.
gosh! So I have this
Their cognac
midwinter's night.
Their cognac
Midwinter's
I
night.
like even more.
What's that?
Their cognac finished, I like even more.
Well, that was just whatever it was, and Kyle, just email me, let me know what that was. But that was phenomenal. So I tried this Midwinter's Night Dram, which is a finished rye, and I like it. And I had it the first year they came out with it, and I bought another bottle here recently. There's a lot of richness and thickness to it, but this is more of a rye, if not a complete rye.
What
So
scene
it's
and what act and what scene?
Act 6, Scene 4. I
My
think,
goal is to get
That's
all
one of our
them.
favorites too.
yeah,
I really
that
like
Midwinter?
Midwinter.
it's good. It's really good. It's a lot different, but it just delivers. I mean, there's tons of flavor. I don't really have many finished. I have Joseph Magnus. They're local.
They're amazing.
They're closed right now for their tasting room. I tried to go there 2 weekends ago.
Wah, wah.
Did you really?
Yeah, well, at least their tasting experience or whatever is closed and supposedly open spring of 2019, but they're running out of time on that quick.
Spring.
Right.
We're past spring of 2019. We're in
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, so
Oh wait, no, they got 2 more days. They have 2 days open.
yeah, it's the 20 or yeah, well, now a day and a half because it's after midnight, right?
Right. No, we still
You
got
got-
half an hour.
It's the 21st, right?
We're
Oh,
central,
here it's 12:36. So
right?
Yeah, we're at 11:39 or 11:36. So we're still an hour behind, and it goes worse as you go west.
So I haven't showed you yet what I got in
Oh.
Kentucky.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh,
You went to
Nice.
Midwinter, you little brat. I see. He told me he didn't go to any distilleries. You lie.
I said I didn't take any tours.
liar.
To be clear, I took no tours.
I was stuck with 2 kids for 4 days.
Yeah, but he brought home some nectar.
He brought you home a gift.
He brought me home chocolate. You know, if you got a girlfriend, love of your life, wife, whatever, that's beautiful. By the way,
I have both.
edible eateries.
Art eatables.
Art eatables. I'm sorry, that was totally butchered.
Would you like a piece of chocolate?
I would love a piece of chocolate. And
Let me get you a piece of chocolate, honey.
There you go.
but they have paired, some of them actually have it's art edibles. They actually pair the chocolates with the bourbons, and some of them even have bourbon in them. It depends on what you get. They have some that don't have bourbon, and they're just for pairing.
And then you can go across the street and do the Louisville Slugger Museum.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they're literally right. Well, I mean, I don't know if they have multiple shops, but
But
Or go to Victoria's Secrets and get the same edible stuff.
yeah, not the same. Not saying anything around about the Pink store, but you got bourbon and then you got the Pink store. I'll take bourbon. Someone was asking in the chat what Michters. What Michters did you get? Where did it go? I was gonna hold it up, but it ran away.
That's a good question.
Sorry, that was probably loud.
What did you buy? You bought something that says
It is the single barrel strength Fort Nelson rye.
and it's got 109.8 proof, and it was dated 6/17/19.
it's got your signature on it and everything.
It does. Hand bottled by yours truly, Kyle Ragsdale, with my super awesome handwriting.
See, should have brought me. I would have made it look pretty,
You would have.
but no.
It's because you're pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Writing
you.
like a doctor is a lost art, I believe.
I am a professional at writing like a doctor.
Me too.
I have mine.
What's yours?
Wild turkey.
No, we're both eating wild turkey. I
Okay.
I didn't know that you bought some for yourself. I thought this was all for me.
Well, I know that we're
Yeah,
married
yeah,
and we
yeah.
could share.
Sharing is caring.
That's right.
This Midwinter's Night Dram is a complete cherry bomb.
Cherry bomb on the midwinter.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Tastes like almost like cherry cough syrup, but in a good way.
I really like the Midwinter Night's Dram.
It's really good.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. That's an inside joke.
Our 4-year-old son,
No.
he always used to go,
Wrong one. Hayden did that.
Whoops.
no.
My bad.
Uh-huh.
We might disagree on which child did it, but one of our kids nonstop. It was Oren. I suck. I'm sorry.
Called it.
You did.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nails with Aaron. And the jokes keep coming. So, where are we in the chat?
Happy wife, happy life.
I'll agree with that. But these chocolates are better than any chocolate I've ever had. I know I put it in Bourbon Nation that I would prefer this over to Godiva, Linden, Lindor. This is my new go-to for chocolate, and it is absolutely amazing.
Someone was asking how much that rye was in the box. It was $150.
That one?
Yeah.
No, the experience was what.
Right. Yeah.
Experience.
You bottle it yourself. So
Yeah.
So in due translation, it was like $800.
right.
The box is $50. The bourbon is, $80. The experience is $20.
Name on the bottle, priceless.
Yeah. The memories, priceless.
When Kyle goes, well, whatever price he says, he's going to be lying.
Yeah, I mean, he admitted the price.
Kyle doesn't lie.
There you go. There
I
was
love
me.
the fact that he told me he did not go to a distillery, and neither Nick nor him gave him up.
And
No,
at
still
that
there.
time, that was not a lie. Neither one of us.
Stretching,
No.
stretching, backpedaling. Come on.
When the time I talked to you, we had not gone into any distillery. We had just taken pictures
I
outside
was stuck
of
with
them.
kids for fun. And I was like, yeah, you're just drinking and going to distilleries, having fun, had to work. But you also get per diem, so you also get good meals. So like you're balanced to work, to drinking, to going to distilleries. I'm like, dude, I'm sinking here. I have kids and they're like driving me nuts. And he's like, oh, don't worry, we're not going to any distilleries. We're not having any fun. No. Oh, I just poured my bottle of Michter's.
It's a lunch break.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It sounds like, Aaron, that he just bought his hall pass for a few days.
At one of the
It's payback for the milkshake.
Milkshake.
Rest-
No, we can't let that one slide. We can't let the milkshake slide. So, all right.
I'm gonna milk that for all it's worth.
Okay.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and head on over to Bourbon Nation.
Bourbon Blind Nation.
Sorry, Bourbon Blind Nation. Bourbon Nation, Bourbon Blind Nation. It's one of those. And click on the video that says, but it was an In-N-Out milkshake. And you'll see the story if you haven't heard it. Continue.
Okay.
Doing plugs.
Like I said, I'm gonna milk that for all it's worth. Make no mistake. But yeah, at that time we had not gone to any distilleries. That was not a lie. It wasn't until the next day that we went to Michter's after work, and then we went to a nondescript, undisclosed location for dinner, which I cannot reveal, where they have pours of stuff for really awesome prices. And that's where I got to try a Blade and Bow 22 year.
You're just digging that hole, aren't you?
So,
I am honest with my wife.
It's undisclosed. What? Okay.
It was a restaurant.
Strip club.
Chips for dinner.
It was a strip club.
I didn't know it was a strip club. You would have told me it's a strip club. That's
Right.
not a problem.
No, I would have told her it was a strip club. I got fish and chips for dinner. I mean, it wasn't. It was a cafe.
It wouldn't have ruined the taste of the 22-year blade and bow.
Mm-mm.
It definitely
Depends on what kind of fish it was.
Oh God, it's fish and chips. Oh. I hope it's. My mind is just very, very bad. We'll leave that one there.
If there's a strip club serving Blade and Bow 22, I don't even think there's one in Vegas.
It would not surprise me in Kentucky.
No, there is.
It's
I'll take your word for it.
Location in which I went. It had.
Does it rhyme with Holler, the
No.
restaurant? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry, Dream Man, you are not eligible for knowing where it's at.
So it was a cafe, and they're known for their breakfast. And being in Kentucky, they have an amazing whiskey selection. Like everywhere in Kentucky, it seems like.
Well, you can't go wrong. It's all made there.
I mean, like I was looking at reviews on Google and stuff, and like, oh, they have really good breakfast and really good hash browns. And I looked at the picture, and I was like, and an amazing whiskey bar. Because why wouldn't you have an awesome whiskey bar at a breakfast cafe
in Kentucky?
At Sunday school.
Right. So it was nice. It was good. But
So you're taking me to breakfast, right?
when we go up there,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'll
All
go back.
right, then we're good.
I'll absolutely go back there.
He was just scouting it out for you. This is all out of love.
Right.
was.
Right. This is all for you, honey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Doesn't want to take you to anywhere that is not to your scale.
Yes.
So you said Nick screwed up. What did he eat for breakfast?
Not breakfast, dinner. He had some sort of Mexican dish and poured Tapatio all over it.
Yeah, your
and-
bourbon tastes like shit.
That pretty much ruined his bourbon. It looks like we lost David. I don't know if
He's-
he's dropped out or just lost connection.
He's fading in and out.
Thanks, Trey. I'm glad that we're hilarious.
Cafe full of dancer. I thought he said cancers.
No, not cancer. It's dancers.
I mean, I wouldn't argue, but no.
Head comments.
So, does it rhyme with holler? No.
I already said that. We already got on that.
I know. I don't even know what he's talking about.
So what restaurant, Grandman, what restaurant rhymes with holler? Baller? Yeah, I
Holler?
wouldn't
Shot
trust
caller?
any Mexican food into Kentucky. Like, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Ironically enough, though, Fayetteville, Tennessee, we have 2 really good Mexican restaurants. I've grown up on Mexican food. It's not my favorite,
Being
but
in Southern California and Arizona.
yeah, but we got legit Mexican. It's about all we got, but we got legit Mexican.
So
Silver Dollar?
That's
No.
a good. They're good.
I thought we.
I don't know
No,
about for
so-
breakfast, but
I went to Silver Dollar once, and
Oh,
it's actually
God.
right down the street. And that was when you called me, and I was like, "Thank God you called me because I needed to get the out of there because
I remember that.
their prices were freaking ridiculous." And I was
Oh.
like, "I'm out." Like they wanted just. I mean,
Mad
there's
money.
I mean, it was like 4 to 5 times what it should have
Hey,
been.
California prices.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
We
like
went
they're the
there-
ones that wanted like $200 for a pour of like Pappy 20. And I was like, no, and I think it was even like a half ounce pour if I remember right. But
Damn.
I'm there's no way whatsoever. So
Bourbon Bistro. Their prices are not that great, but their food is delicious.
yeah. Did I go there? I don't know
Right
if I
down-
went there the last time, not this past time, but the time before that I was
We
there.
ate at a really good restaurant down there.
Nick and I walked by that place.
It was.
It's a farm to table
Blue.
restaurant in Louisville on the east side, northeast side.
Really good food.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good food out there.
Oh yeah. I didn't have a single hot Kentucky brown while I was there.
Not my cup of tea.
No.
I didn't
Oh,
realize that deviled eggs were like a big thing there until like 2 trips ago.
Deviled eggs are good anywhere, though.
Everyone
Yeah,
loves
but like
deviled
there is like every restaurant had it like on their appetizers. We thought it was funny.
eggs.
Wow, we got quiet in the chats. Did everyone fall asleep on us?
Oh, I'm about to fall asleep though.
I'll keep drinking with y'all. I don't sleep.
So, you guys have anything else you want to address? Want to talk about?
Did you start this at 9:30?
Yeah.
Wow. See,
Yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark. So
our live streams never stop, and we don't start early. Chad and Trey, it doesn't surprise me. Y'all are always here.
boom.
Oh, only 9 watching now.
Yep,
The hardcore.
that's right. I
So
mean,
what-
in all fairness, we've talked about absolutely fucking nothing for the last hour.
Oh, I come and we don't chat.
No, you've been.
Wait, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. So what's Chad been up to? Why isn't he in here?
Chad
Hawley?
Holly? He's
Yeah.
in the chat.
He's in the chat. I think he said he's on a dry month, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. What is that? What's a dry month?
I don't know. It's something crazy.
Is that when you switch to beer?
Basically, it's just where you stop drinking for the month.
Are you pregnant?
Right?
That's the only. I mean, I stopped for 9 months.
Did he
But
stop breathing too?
Do what?
Did he stop breathing too?
I think it's touch and go every now and then.
Mhm.
But
Weller proof.
Weller foolproof. When is it coming out, and when and where will you get it from?
Oh, that'll be ridiculous.
I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, and I probably won't.
Yeah.
No, it's going to hit secondary and just go nuts.
40 or 50 bucks. If I can find it for retail,
sure.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll never see that for retail.
Dram Man is an awesome guy. He stopped drinking when his wife was pregnant. See, I just became the DD, and I laughed at everyone, and I made them drink double for me.
I'm not that strong.
It was pretty amazing making all y'all drink for me, because then I picked the drinks.
She's evil too.
I
That's
am.
an evil smile, I was going to say.
Oh yeah, it was great.
She's like, 3 wise men. Line them up.
And then a 4 horsemen,
Uh-huh.
and then a liquid cocaine, and
Mind erasers are fun too.
Yeah.
Speaking of mind erasers, you want to say hi to everybody?
Oh, what's up, player?
What's wrong?
Night owl there.
Everyone's a night owl in this house.
yeah, it's almost midnight here.
I'm the only night owl in my house besides my dogs.
She's gonna go get him some water.
Milk. Give me your cup.
So
You'll bring it. Do you need a cup?
anyway, if you guys don't have anything else, we're probably gonna get out of here.
Yep.
I know I got work tomorrow.
Me
So,
too.
Thanks for the reminder.
In like 4 hours.
Oh,
Chaz says he finished his dry month, but he has Wi-Fi issues, so being in live streams hasn't worked lately. Yeah, you better get it fixed soon, dude.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
I know. We miss you, man. Come on in here. Something about a mechanical bull from Drayman? I'm not sure what's going on.
What are you doing with mechanical bowl?
I don't know. Drayman Kentucky was talking about something about a mechanical bull.
Jeez.
So,
I have yet to play with one of those.
oh, Trey, what is the alternative to store pick, and what do they mean? Store picks are when stores get to pick a single barrel. So, like, this is a store pick. It's a new riff, but it says single barrel, and then it has the name of the store on it. And basically, they either go to Kentucky or they have samples sent to them
Or they send people.
from different barrels, and they get to pick what barrel they like the best because all barrels taste different. So that is what a store pick is.
And you really start getting
The more you know.
Well, and you start getting certain stores have better palates, better tastings, and so you really start knowing where the best store picks are, and you really get a taste of the unblended version, I would say, because
And you really get some stuff that is
Cream of the crop.
beyond top shelf.
or you get the stuff that is really shitty.
Yeah, it all depends on, I feel like, on the store and who they send their like palette, because like
Yeah.
I've been doing a bunch of taste tests with friends, and we're like 3 out of 5 are like we prefer the regular stuff to the store pick, because
Ooh,
that store's picking like,
crap.
they go for the unusual one instead of trying to go to like the extreme of what everybody's looking for in it.
Yeah, and there's a place down in Alabama that I think is kind of like that. They want stuff that's different, and different isn't always better.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've had some stuff that is like off profile of what it was meant to be, and it was still great. You know what I mean? But every now and then, like there's a stuff like they just want some really off the wall stuff, and you're like, there's a reason that no one's picked that yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if it tastes like dog shit, it still is different, but it's not that good, right?
Right, exactly.
I don't know if I've had any dog shit ones, but
Well, I'm just saying.
yeah, no.
That would be pot still. If you want that
Right.
one, that one.
Well,
Sure,
yeah,
you
right.
can't-
Yeah, Scott, have you tasted any pot still? Because that's kind of close to dog shit. I'm just saying.
I feel like I've had at least some that are hybrids, but like there's one over in Colombia that they're doing a bunch of stuff, and they're starting to do bourbon, but they need to let it go more than a couple months.
Exactly. Yeah.
A couple months of bourbon, like that's.
I don't know what their age statement is, but I mean I've only known of them for 2 years, and they didn't. When I went there was a year ago, and they weren't doing bourbon yet, so I can't imagine it's more than
6 months. It's chicken cock.
I was gonna say chicken cock had a 6-month statement.
Yeah.
That's ballsy. I would just say,
So
this is aged for a while. I wouldn't say 6 months. I mean, come on.
This was aged for a time.
Yeah.
please send me a sample. I would love
It was-
to get that on the show.
It was aged for 6 units of measure.
yeah. And then they
Yeah.
want $85 a bottle for it, and I'm like,
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Drayman in Kentucky said a mechanical bull is a drink similar to liquid cocaine. It's 151, 101, Jaeger, ice and fire, and 101.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
not 20s. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not trying that.
I'm tapping out on that one.
That
No.
does not sound enjoyable.
no.
Yeah, I'm over the age limit for that one.
I'm trying to figure out what Trey's talking about with a shot with blue in it.
Probably blue Caraco,
That's good.
Blue Curacao.
blue Caruso, whatever it is. Yeah.
That one's good. And B-Dubs, cement mixers never should be made with 151.
A dead Mexican cow.
Yeah.
That got awful too, and I was the only one that I think I was the only one. Did Trey even take that shot?
Trey took it,
Okay,
I think.
I'm not sure. I know I did.
So
It
we
was
had
god-awful.
a night in Buffalo Wild Wings, and
I got a lot of freebies.
So
Imagine that.
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
drank.
we didn't go to that location for a year.
They
and then
remembered me.
We went back a year later.
Were you allowed? Were you allowed to go back, or
Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing.
Oh, I had a good night. Newcastle was there, and I ended up walking away with like pitchers. I think I got a pitcher, 2 glasses, a shirt, and a shit ton of beads. Oh, and an MP3 player.
When those were a thing.
When those were a thing. Yeah, good times.
Trey says he took it like a champ.
Yeah.
I
and
feel
we
like a champ
all
is a bit of a
hated-
stretch, Trey.
Yeah, you and I hated life the next morning. Anywho.
So anyway, I got to get to work at some point tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
What's that? That's work. You got enough bourbon there, it'll be fine.
I'll just continue drinking in the morning. It'll be fine. It's whatever.
Pour it in your coffee.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Don't tempt me. I do have some of that Buffalo Trace cream left over.
We do. If you haven't
Hey,
had
how is that? I've been meaning to try that. What's it like?
it's really good on ice cream. I like making it into milkshakes.
It's basically like the Bailey's Irish cream, but with bourbon. It's really good in your coffee.
I think
so.
it's better than the than
It's better than Bailey's.
Bailey's.
It's
That's
better.
what I was hoping for. Put it in your
really
coffee.
good. I pour it on ice cream.
They actually use real cream in it, so that's
It
a
does go
start.
bad. You need to keep it refrigerated.
Once you open it.
I heard the Bourbon County one is even better.
Ooh, yes.
What was that?
Show that again.
Boone County. 18.
Is that a store pick?
No, I wish. This was just one I picked up when I was in Kentucky, but I couldn't find a barrel proof or a store pick. But I just got these.
So when those first came out, I was at one of the first stores that did a store pick of it. And I passed up on it, and I shouldn't have. They were like, "Oh man, we got this Boone County," and I was like, "Dude, I don't know anything about that," and I didn't know it was MGP at the time, and I was like, "Well, it's 12 years old, but I mean, it's kind of pricey and blah blah blah." I should have picked up a bunch of it.
Yeah, I mean the secondary is crazy because I was like, "Oh, I really want to try it." I don't want to try it that much.
Right? Yeah, that's kind of the way MGP's gone. I don't.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. It's made by Ghost or whatever. That's cool and all, but I mean, in the end of the day, I just care what it tastes like. But there's
at the end of the day, it's still MGP. So.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be a ton of it. Like
last time we were at Belle Meade, they were like, because we're like, oh, we've heard there's been rumors of, the 10, 12-year MGP stuff, drying up. And they're like, there's tons of it. Like we have a warehouse full of it and we can order as much as we want.
I wish they would do a tour because, like Buffalo Trace, when you do the hard hat tour, you're like, this is huge. But like,
the hard hat
is like 5 times bigger.
It's amazing over there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Jim, you were mentioning you like Finnish stuff. If you can get your hands on the Belle Meade Stout, that is also another one of my favorites. Belle Meade is
the Black Bell.
The Black Bell, sorry. It's Finnish and stout. And then the beer it's called Black Bell. It's out of Blackstone makes the beer of it. It is absolutely some of the best bourbon or beer, depending on which way you go with what you're looking for.
Do you like beer, Jim? Dark beer?
Yeah, I've been brewing beer for about 40 years.
Okay, so yeah.
Go ahead and try that.
yeah. That's a yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll see if we can pick one up.
Definitely.
Next time we're up there and get you out one of them.
It's one of my favorite beers. That's what got me onto bourbon was the bourbon chocolates, the bourbon wine, the bourbon beer. And then I was like, oh, well, if I'm drinking it in wine and in beer, I might as well do it straight.
And then you went straight to Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Yep.
Oh, well,
it was
who doesn't?
I don't do the proofs. I still don't like them.
All right, guys. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to get out of here so I can maybe make it to work at a semi-rookie time tomorrow.
Semi-rookie time?
I was reading Trey's comment about rookie at the time. After 7 or 8 drinks, your mind can only track so many things at one time.
Yeah,
7 or 8?
Last time we did this, so we're doing good.
7 or 8?
No, you're past 8. 2, 4, 6, 7. I see 7.
Math stopped at 7.
And then there was at least a couple of pours of multiples. So maybe 10. I don't know.
I'm double digits for sure.
And there is nothing wrong with that.
No,
absolutely not. I have to go to work in about 4 hours, but
do what?
I have to go to work in about 4 hours, but
oh, you're fine. You got plenty of time.
Absolutely, yeah, plenty of
Drink
coffee.
some water, maybe
Power
some
nap in
Gatorade.
there.
Yeah.
charcoal pills and vitamin B.
Seriously. Oh yeah, and an enema.
Have you guys tried the
vitamin B is my go-to. I found out from a friend after a very large night of drinking that your hangover comes from your lack of vitamin B. Processing alcohol depletes your body from it. So if you drink take a vitamin B tablet, B1, I believe, or B6, it's one of the two.
Or B12.
No, it's not B12.
B46.
There you go. Yeah. Now we're playing football. But it will really reduce your chances of having a hangover. And we have put this to the test a couple times and have come out golden. So.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate the advice, and I have to relieve myself of a bunch of vitamin P. So I'm going to check out, and I'll catch you guys later.
Yep.
All right, guys. Appreciate having you on.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. We appreciate all of you hanging around.
Thank you.
Cheers to all of you with my
Cheers.
empty
Empty
glass,
glass.
I guess.